Alright, should be recording. I'm actually going to go to the YouTube, or no, I wonder if I can get the YouTube link from here.
That one.
Yeah. Okay. Alright, we already got people up in the chat. Let's go. Zebra junk removal. Alright, we are now live. We went live a little prematurely because I needed to get the audio link, but as people start rolling in, we'll answer whatever questions come in and kind of go from there. Get this up on Instagram and Facebook.
Should I try TikTok?
Yeah, you can put the link in our bio. All right, what's up, Six Laka? How you doing? It's gonna be a slow start, guys. Always is a slow start. It's kind of name of the game with lives, unless you're Alex Hermosi or someone crazy. Here. What? Aluminum Ninja. What's going on in Florida? What's going on HKRE2? All right, starting it off strong with a good question. Perfect. So, how do I stop depending on Thumbtack? Does it just take time till people start knowing the company? I'll let you answer first.
You have to start trying to put yourself on more than just Thumbtack. Like Thumbtack is easy because you don't really have to do anything besides upload photos and pay them money. So just start trying to advertise yourself on more than Thumbtack.
Yeah.
I would say is a good start.
I guess the question too is, why do you want to not be dependent on Thumbtack? I understand having a want to explore other avenues, but the grass is not always greener, right? So if you're not spending money on Thumbtack, you'll be spending lead money somewhere else, and you're gonna still run into the same problems, like not booking jobs, getting tire kickers, spending money that you don't want to spend. So I think that like the narrative against Thumbtack is like kind of crazy because it's the same as any other lead source. The only caveat is that it serves the lead to multiple people, not just one person. But
That's the same for other sources too, though.
yeah, not like Google though. I mean, it just depends. It depends on your perspective of it, right?
It is because even LSA, it serves the message ones to different people. I
Yeah.
believe that's what it's shown us.
It'll tell you if it has or not. Yeah, so it's a good point. I wish we could connect it over to Facebook, but it won't. It won't let me connect it there for some reason. I actually kind of
You
want to.
can just pull it up there, and then we can answer the questions.
Yeah, I'm gonna go because what did we do it on Instagram before?
Yeah.
We almost never go live on Facebook, so that's what we're gonna do. World Touch Junk Removal in Orange County, New York. What's going on? That's crazy. Whoa, why is it so zoomed in?
Is your book still available?
Yes, it is. We have some other resources that I think would probably be better served, though. We can get that over to you. I think if you DM'd us, I saw it. We just didn't have time to like answer it. So we'll get it popping. I'm gonna go live. Why is that so zoomed in?
I don't know.
Oh, there we go.
How much do y'all spend for a full load at the landfill on the dump truck? We are still spending anywhere from like 68. The highest we've paid is 120 on it so far, like 123, but we usually still pay around 68 to $72 for it.
Yeah, we've been paying. We paid $200 the other day. That was pretty high for us, but
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the highest one.
yeah, we've had some bigger ones. It just depends on the weight, but the average is like $100. I would say like 70 to 100. Let's go back up here. Joey Rivera said, What platform marketing would you say gives you the most leads?"
Honestly, our SEO right now, I think it gives us the most and the best ones. But other than that, Google.
Yeah. Google will always be the number one. There's a lot of emphasis that needs to be put into your SEO and now also um, AI search. Okay. All right. Sam said, "Hey, you two motivated me to start Alpha and Omega junk removal base in Florida. I'm starting off with renting Home Depot trucks. How can I dial in my pricing structure since I'll be renting one often?" You want to answer that?
You go.
So you got to pick a price for the truck, right? So if you're going to be doing like a 10 or 15 foot, you just need to pick a full truck price and then separate it based off of how much room takes up that truck. So like a quarter of the truck, half the truck, full truck. For like a 10 foot, it's you still probably could get like $400 or $500 out of it. 15 foot, you're definitely going to be you're going to be up there, right, in price. So I would run it that way. All right, two Mexicans junk removal said number one mistake that has taught us the most.
What's yours?
I don't know. That's a good question. So Jackie and this my opinion is we haven't made any like very serious mistakes, right? I don't know. When I think of mistakes, I just
I think that although we haven't done like anything crazy, we do a lot of things that we should like separate more to see results, or we stop doing something before seeing any results, and then we have to try it again in the future, and then again until we do it long enough to where we know like if it actually works or if it doesn't.
Yeah. I also, I guess one of the biggest mistakes I make as a business owner is just like always chasing the lady in the red dress, as the saying goes. Not this lady, right? But like the shiny object syndrome, basically, like where, you see the next best thing and you're like, oh, I got to do this. And like Jackie's talking about, it's like, oh, I'm on Thumbtack and I'm getting business, but I want to do Google. How do I do Google? Google's going to be the thing that really makes my business. No, SEO is going to really be, it's like, guys, you have to give things like 90 to 120 days before you can make the determination if it works for your business or not. And if you can't afford to do something for 90 to 120 days, then you can't afford to do it at all. And that's my take on that. So my biggest mistake is always trying to tell Jackie, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. And she's usually the one that's like, no, we need to keep doing what we're doing. It's working, and just keep fine tuning it. So that's that. That's a great question. Thanks for that. Yeah, Houston's up there in price on the dumpsters. So how do I get more jobs? I got a website. I post on Facebook every day. I tried Google Ads, Thumbtack. Sometimes I get one, and sometimes I get no jobs a week. What am I doing wrong?
It depends on how you're posting on Facebook. Depends like where you're spending your money. Are you not spending enough in one because you're trying to spend it in like 5 different things?
That's a good point. That's a really good point.
You want to add to that?
Yeah, I think I kind of just touched on it a little bit, but you do have jobs coming in and you do have leads coming in. So we have to make a determination on whether or not you need to go all in on one thing, right? So a lot of you guys are just, again, you're so fast to like switch up what you're doing. If you're getting a job from a lead source, continue doing that and pouring more money and more gasoline on that fire until you really have capped that out. And a lot of times too, I think people have a really hard time closing. So if you guys are struggling with closing the leads, you need to kind of get into learning the process of sales, and you have to do some self-education on sales.
Yeah, I would also add that you need to like track the leads you're getting, track which ones are actually like qualifying leads, which ones you're not booking because of X, Y, and Z. Write notes. If you go through your notes and you didn't book half of them because they said your price was too high, then you either work on your script or you work on your price.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys have to deliver value, and it's really difficult. It feels really difficult because you don't know how to differentiate yourself. And I'm going to give you guys a little simple nugget right now. When you deliver the price, start delivering it like this. Okay, Karen, the price is going to be 220. That includes fuel, labor, insurance, and dump fees. What we're doing, right, is we're giving them four things included in the junk removal that they are getting for that price. Now, we all know that they're not getting the fuel, the labor, the insurance, the dump fee. Like, they don't get that, right? That's not something that they receive. But that's something that they don't have to worry about because it's all included in your price. And what you've done is you've taken this one thing, which is I'm going to remove your junk for X amount. I'm going to remove your junk, cover this, this, and this for this price. And now you've built up value for that potential customer. So, everyone on Facebook, I just want to let you guys know that our main live is over on YouTube. We're just kind of like going back and forth. So, if we don't get to you, I'm sorry. This was the priority. I just wanted to kind of jump on here and see how Facebook Live works. So. All right, Luis asked, do you guys PPC? It's a funny question. PPC, for you guys that don't know, is Google pay-per-click ads. Yes, we are in the process of running those. I'll just be honest. It's been a crap show with Google for us.
We've been trying it for 3-4 months.
Longer than that.
It's been, well, on and off.
Yeah.
We've been trying to fix it as we go, and it's not going that great right now. But
yeah, we've spent about $10,000 in Google Ads and still haven't seen a legitimate return. So that just goes to show we walk that walk. We don't just talk the talk. So just so you guys know that. How do you go about getting Google reviews for iPhone users without having to have them set up a Google account? You can't. They have to have a Google account. So if they don't have a Google account, you're SOL. Shit out of luck. Sorry. All right. That's a great question. You guys used to talk a lot about selling on Nextdoor. Now that you're doing Google Ads, do you still use Nextdoor?
Honestly, we don't.
Yeah. But it's not because we're doing Google Ads, right? We frequent the lead sources that bring us the most business, right? And the thing with Nextdoor is, yes, it is free to post. It's free to make these soft selling posts. And we soft sell in everything we do, right? That concept of soft selling is not specific to Nextdoor. It's not specific to Facebook. It's not specific to Instagram. You have to soft sell everybody, guys. That's the way you have to sell in general, in my opinion.
Yeah, we just don't have to use it anymore because, we're booked out. We can't even, like, the leads that are coming in, we need more time.
Yeah.
We need more people. We need more time to keep fulfilling the rest of the leads that are coming in. So it wouldn't serve us to, like, go out of our way and take leads from somebody else if we can't, like, fulfill the jobs.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the biggest thing, guys. It's like, you again identify the lead source that is working well for you. Even if it's not up to your expectation, figure out how it's working and figure out, how do I do more of that? Okay. All right, that's a great question though. All right, 2 Mexicans giving out love to the community. Junk Rush out of San Diego, just want to say good stuff with the community. We appreciate that, Peter Ray. Peter's a good dude. Facebook brings me 90% of my leads. So it's like, it's like, if I know that Facebook is bringing me 90% of the leads, double down on that and triple down on that. And if it's like, if you're running an ad at $10 a day and it brings you a few $1,000s in work, well then up the ad spend and run it that way. So we actually had a break over here, so we're going to get into some. Oh, I did that. I totally was holding up my my phone with a drink, and now Jackie has to clean it up. I'm such a good husband. Okay, so Facebook, what's going on, everybody in Facebook Live? Facebook Live, say hello to everyone on the YouTube. All right, so we had some questions in here, I thought. Appreciate, man, there's a lot of you guys. Sorry, we're just kind of going back through everything. Guys, if you have a question on Facebook, you can try to ask it, and I will try to answer it as I go back and forth between these two. But good question so far. Wanted to thank you both so much. We started our junk removal. Hey, we appreciate the love and support. That's what we're here for, guys. Like, if you're trying to get a company started and you're trying to get to that 6-figure number, that's what we're here to do, is help you guys get to that point. There's so much room in this industry for you guys to be successful, right? For anybody to be successful. So you might as well get to it.
You can just put it there too.
Oh yeah, I could put that there too, huh? Oh, there we go. Look at that. All right. Let's see, what else do we got going on in here? No question. Hi guys, how are you doing? How are we doing, baby? What's going on, Henry?
Good.
You doing good?
Yeah. We just cuddle our dog for a lot of the time today.
Yeah, it was a nice, relaxing Sunday. I think one of the things that people fail to understand, in the beginning, you're going to work your butts off to get to a point like where we're at, where we actually decided to hire an employee and be off the truck. And I have to tell you, it's been one of the most, I don't know, what's the word? I think it's been one of the greatest experiences in business so far, you know?
Yeah.
Being able to offload that responsibility. And now we just have the responsibility of having to make sure the schedule's filled every day, which is difficult.
The jobs aren't hard, but it gives you so much time not having to do them.
Yeah.
Which makes everything else seem like nothing.
Okay. Luis Hernandez just asked a question. He said, do you guys run your own page in SEO? Thanks for answering the other question.
Do you guys run your own page on SEO? No.
A little louder for the crowd.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We have a company called One Local do our SEO.
Yeah. So, and guys, if you're new here and you don't know what SEO is, SEO stands for search engine optimization. So when you go on to Google and you look up junk removal near me, right? The first couple things that are going to pop up are ads. So you'll have Google LSA all the way at the top. You'll have Google PPC somewhere below LSA. Then you'll have the Map Pack, which has a spot for Google ads, but it also is just your business in Google's Map Pack. And then the very first link that shows up that is a non-sponsored link will be your SEO or your website. And search engine optimization is highly important for you guys when you're getting into the business, that you get on that early, because it does take 6 months to a year to build authority within your community. And that's how we get a lot of our leads now. And everyone says, I don't know why we call it organic, right? Like, people go like, that's an organic lead, but we pay for SEO services every month. So technically you still will pay for those leads once they do roll in. So that's something to be mindful of. Facebook's popping. Got 5 people on Facebook. Thank you to the 5 people out there. We have 68,000 people following on us Facebook, but
that's crazy because we keep having like people come in.
Yeah.
So it looks like a lot's going on, but
yeah. All right, cool. Great questions, guys. Facebook, if you guys have any questions, please hit me with them. I'm going to see. I thought I saw a question earlier, but I have no questions on Facebook, so all good. All good in the hood. One of the things we'll notice, Rudy's in on Facebook. What's up, Rudy? Rudy's one of the best. He's like one of our best supporters. I like him a lot. So, you can show things on stream? Let's see. Can they see that on stream now?
I don't think so. Oh.
Like that. Oh, that's sick. Okay, we're going to do that from now on. Perfect. All right, Steven on Facebook has a question for us.
How much money did you have in the bank when you quit your 9 to 5 and took the gamble on junk removal? You can answer.
I don't know, $300 maybe.
Yeah.
So when we started our journey, we were living paycheck to paycheck. So like we weren't so broke that we didn't have any money left over going into the next paycheck, but we had no savings. My credit was like in the 400s.
Yeah. Yeah. He had just gotten off an army mission. We had only been dating for a while and it was long distance, so we moved in together for like a month.
Yeah.
And then we
Jackie was
decided
paying
we
all my
weren't-
bills.
Yeah. We decided we didn't like our jobs and we weren't making enough money. So
Yeah.
it was either find another job or do junk removal.
Yeah.
And that's what we did.
Yeah, and the thing I think people need to understand is like when you're making $2,600 a month, like I was, like, I mean, you can get worse than that, but you can't really get that much worse than that, especially living in a high cost area like Austin. So, Rudy, we love you, man. I love how you support us. That's what I care about. So I appreciate you. All right, cool. Mother Trucks in Cortez says, I'm currently working out of a U-Haul. What should be my next move?
Well, your current move should be saving your money from the jobs that you're doing and then trying to find a cheap truck or whatever you're in need of
Yeah, a cheap truck
for
for
the
sure.
business.
I will say, so the best thing for you to do is definitely get a cheap truck. And I would save up $1,000, preferably probably closer to 2,000, but 1,000 is what we had in the bank. Our very first two jobs, the first job we made 300, the second job we made 700 and some change, and we kept that money in the bank account. And then I went on Facebook Marketplace and I lowballed every single person with a running truck that was like, they could have had it up for 2,000 to 3,000. I was looking for trucks around 2,000 to 3,000, and I just basically said, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to start the business. I'm really, really broke, and I need help. Will you sell me this for $1,000? It's all I have." And we found someone to give us a chance, and yeah, it helped. So Eric Rodriguez did this emoji and then said that Jackie was my sugar mama. She was, and she still is, and always will be. So if it's not the money sugar, it's the other sugar. All right. We said we just started doing our own SEO with an AI program. We have seen our ranking has improved in a few months, and I found out that using those SEO companies didn't work for us, so we do our own. That is definitely something you guys can do. So, the fun thing about business, but also the very frustrating thing about business is that you're responsible for everything, right? But something you guys have to understand is that everything in your business in the first couple years are all things that you can teach yourself how to do. For the SEO portion, Jackie and I, we tried doing it and we just couldn't really, to be honest, I didn't spend the time to figure it out. So we just decided, hey, I don't mind spending the $700 a month. We make enough doing junk removal. So let's have someone whose only job is to do the SEO. So, excuse me, Dr. Pepper burps. All right, Ben Duncan, just joining, probably asked already. I'm going on 5 years and I feel like I've hit a wall, like I peaked. Word of mouth and Facebook has been bread and butter, done very well. What is a good fiscal number to start with to market? Google Ads, I own the truck and trailer.
It depends how many people are doing Google Ads in your area. And what Google Ads, is it PPC, LSA?
Yeah, I mean, Google Ads also doesn't have to be the only thing that you do, Ben. I guess it really comes down to how much revenue on average you do. And I would say at minimum, I would start with 5 to 10% of your bottom line of your profit. So let's say you make $10,000 in revenue and you have $5,000 as your bottom line. That's how much you keep every month. I would do 10% of that. That'd be $500, and I'd run an ad for an entire month at $500 for the total budget to see what you can get going. He said a lot. Sacramento, California is flooded, right? And that's the thing too, is like you're getting beat out by people that are marketing, right? So that's what I would do. I would take a tiny budget and scale into it. I would say meta ads is probably the most cost effective way to get that started. But you could go to Google LSA if you have a strong Google presence. So really comes down to your preference and what you understand the best. All right. Antonio Mendoza said that they did the same thing as us. They started with a U-Haul and they rented the trailer, and then they got an F-250, and now they're working on to the dump trailer. It's really, it's phenomenal. And like, guys, I think there's always going to be, I think the problem is that everybody always, there's always going to be an exception, right? The thing about business that will determine whether you guys are successful or not is when you stop making excuses for why things don't work. If something doesn't work, move on. But don't sit and complain about it, because that's what normal people do. Things suck. Like we're like $10,000 into Google ads and we still really haven't seen a good return on it. And we're trying to figure it out because it's supposed to be what is the prime thing to do. But it might just be what doesn't work for our business, and that's okay. Anytime, Ben. Thanks for the question. Oh, we got Adam in the house, another rock star of the junk removal community. All right, so Aluminum Ninja says 90% of SEO companies are a joke. Check out William with Rank Fortress. He's the real deal, top 3 in 3 months or your money back guarantee. We know William. We've talked to him a little bit, so I'm relatively safe in saying that that's a pretty good factual statement. You can look him up on Facebook, and yeah, that's a shout out plug for William and Rank Fortress. All right, how are you doing, or what are you doing now since you got out of the truck? That's a great question, Rudy. What are we doing every day, baby?
We're relaxing a little more, but we're doing estimates in person now. We're driving out to like bigger jobs, not all the little ones, but the bigger like office cleanouts and stuff. We're doing those estimates. We're doing a lot of emails, a lot of property manager stuff.
Yeah, it's business to business development is what we're focusing on. And I will tell you the biggest kick in the butt is when you get off the truck and now you really are concerned about how filled the schedule is. A lot of you guys, you may or may not be into this at this point in your business yet. But as an owner operator, you will get busy to the point where you start turning work away, or you're a little bit more lackadaisical on how you try to book the work because you're just tired and you don't get time to yourself. And that was happening a lot for Jackie and I, mostly me. I was just like, if I answered the phone, I didn't give a shit if I booked the job because we had jobs. So it's like, so yeah, we're kind of chilling, not gonna lie. But what I will say is that now, bless you.
Thank you.
Now, bless you.
Thank you.
Like if someone has a big job that they need an estimate, instead of having to book it around our schedule, we say, okay, I can be out there in 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and book this time. And we can get straight out there to do estimates on big jobs, which kind of putting us in prime time. It's like why our week is completely booked with commercial jobs this week. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, going back to the other chat before I get back into Facebook. All right. So I've been doing it for 3 years, but part-time in 2026, we plan to go full-time with it. I started junk removal by accident. SEO is definitely the hardest part. Consistency is definitely the key. You guys heard it here. If you think you can or think you can't, either way, you're right. Good saying. All right. So Six Laka asked, who or what introduced you to junk removal? What? I go?
No, like you introduced me, so who or what introduced
Guys,
you?
I have no freaking clue how I stumbled upon junk removal. A couple years ago, I think what happened is I was like, I was still really poor and really broke. and I was
You were more poor and
more
more
more poor and more broke, and I was just trying to find easy ways to make money, and I think it came up, but I never pulled the trigger. I'm like 90% of the people that follow us on social media are the onlookers who just like, oh, that looks really cool, I might try that one day, and that's what happened to me. And then when we got back, again, I moved in with Jackie. Okay, she's only been my girlfriend for like a couple months, and I'm freaking dirt poor. I just left an army mission where I was making good money. I'm dirt poor, and I'm freaking almost $100,000 in debt. And I'm like, this cannot be how I start this relationship with this woman that I want to marry. So I had remembered junk removal, and I started looking into it again. And when I brought it up to Jackie, she's just like, let's do it. And so that's kind of how we got back into junk removal.
I had seen junk removal like growing up because my family always had projects being done at home. So the people that would do like the work, they would do junk removal as well.
Hmm.
But I didn't know. Like I was young, so I was just like, oh, that's just their job.
Side note before I move into the next statement slash question, guys, customer education is a huge part of our jobs as junk removal business owners because junk removal is still kind of an unknown service. Like it's not like landscaping or even pressure washing where like people know that that's a service they can go out and get. Junk removal is still a relatively unknown. Like if you look at the keywords on Google, people are looking like how do I get rid of is like
Yeah.
how they'll ask questions. So um, this question from UMB MMA says that the landfill is free for residents in this county, but I see 1-800 junk and many other junk removal companies. Is the market too saturated? Well, if you have a 1-800 junk in your area, it's safe to say that it's probably not too saturated. If 1-800 junk can make money there, so can you. You reading?
Yeah.
All right. Most people think they're going to get rich overnight, and that's not always true, okay? Yeah, so Denise Leon said, I have realistic expectations as well. Most people think that they are going to get rich overnight, and that's not always true. Put the work in now. Guys, like this is, we're trying to make more of this content, but like this is not a get rich quick scheme. You will make more money than you probably have ever made, but it's not a get rich quick scheme, right?
Yeah.
Anything to add to that? Nope. Okay. I'm going to go back to Facebook real quick. I'm going to show them some love. All right. Okay, so Steven asked, how much money are you in on Google Ads month to month? We were up around 4,000, and we've just dropped it basically in half. And this month, it'll probably be even less because we booked so many jobs out in advance. We haven't, we turned everything off. So Byron said he didn't know we weren't working on the truck anymore. We are not, guys. When you see videos, you're probably going to get a lot of old B-roll stuff now. Still haven't figured out how we're going to go collect more content. I think I'm going to, yeah, I think I also think I'm going to make it a mission to go out and see the crew in action this week. But yeah, it's a lot of work, Okay. All right. Daily Honey Official said, could I do this as a side hustle with a 1500 Silverado?
Yes.
Yep. Absolutely could. We started with after the U-Hauls, we had a 1500 Dodge Ram and just used the truck bed for a while. So absolutely. All right. I have a dump trailer, but I don't have a truck. That's why I'm in a U-Haul. My trailer's an 8x5x3. What type of truck I should get? The one that you can afford. That's it. Jackie and I are not.
As long as they can pull the trailer.
Yeah, we're not big on spending a bunch of money to get yourself moving in the business, right? The whole point of starting this business, guys, I think for a lot of you is like to find financial freedom. And one of the reasons why a business can make you financially free is because it really forces you to make mature decisions about your financial decisions because the business requires it. You can't be an a-hole with your money and own a business. It really doesn't work. All right. I'm going from a registered nurse position to junk removal. I'm going to work in the hospital for 312s and do junk removal 4 days a week. What do you recommend for staying consistently busy on days off?
Um, I would say to try to market yourself while you're at work in your nursing job. I know you guys have a lot of free time because my brother's a nurse and my sister-in-law is too, and she's always texting me. So instead of texting, you go on Nextdoor or any other platform and you reach out to people.
Yeah, I think if you're a nurse, it's safe to assume that you probably make decent money. I'm not going to say that you're rich, but I would take the time as a nurse, set some money aside, get a proper website built up with some good SEO, and then focus on building the brand slowly. And don't look to be consistently busy in your first few months because it's not going to happen that way. Doesn't matter how much money you spend, how good your branding is, whatever. It's just going to take time. And that's the one thing I have to stress to you guys. It doesn't matter what question you ask in this chat, and how we answer it, whether it's the answer you're looking for or not, or something clicks or it doesn't. Time is the one thing that we cannot defeat. Okay, you guys will not just come out the gate beating companies that have been around for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Set realistic expectations for yourself so that you stay mentally strong throughout the process of owning a business, because it's not easy. It can be, but it's not. All right, going back to Facebook, guys. Okay, so Andrew Gibson, I hope he's still in here because I want to answer this for him. Said that him and his partner are he's working a 9 to 5, and he wants to know, should he leave his 9 to 5 to pursue junk removal full time? What's your take on that?
I don't think so. I think you should, again, just try to get your jobs while during the days that you work, during the time that you work, and then the time that you're not working, you go fulfill those. You see if you like junk removal, you see if it's something that you want to do, and then you go into it. Like,
I don't think that you'll have a determination on if you actually like junk removal or not until you're like at least 10 jobs in. And again, this kind of goes back to the selling and marketing aspects, guys. If you have absolutely no experience in marketing or sales, which like 90% of you don't, that's just the truth. And I mean legitimate marketing or sales positions, those are the skills that you have to learn, and those take time to develop. And thinking that your 9 to 5 is what's holding you back it's a very bad misconception.
it's what's going to feed your company in the beginning. So.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, businesses do take money to run and to operate. So if you can hold on to your 9 to 5, I would. I if Until you can consistently book jobs in the time frames that you want to book them, then you really have no business leaving your 9 to 5. That's our opinion. We also don't want to see any of you guys be unsuccessful because we give you a piece of advice and that's not what should be given in your specific situation. And take everything we say in this call and in the live with a grain of salt and with some nuance, because we don't understand every single one of your guys' in the specific situation. So, all right. I'm reading one more from Facebook. Okay. Eric, that was a great message. I hope you're still in here. Eric's been a huge fan. He's been watching for a long time. He started his junk removal company and has kind of been slow for the winter season, which I think a lot of you guys are probably experiencing. And that's okay, guys. I'm here to tell you that Q3 and Q4 are typically the slowdown periods. Well, end of Q3 and then all of Q4 are typically slowdown periods for most of us, okay? Slow down periods does not mean slow season, okay? I promise you guys, if you're not busy, if you haven't been busy the last couple weeks, after Christmas into New Year's, you will be hit or miss. You might either have a big uptake in business or not. But after New Year's, going into the new year, January, February, you'll see a little uptake. Q1, in beginning of March to end of March, you'll see a bigger uptake, and then once you get into Q2, Q3, you guys will see a good uptake in your business. Okay. All right. Jumping back from Facebook to the other live, the YouTube.
Oh, there's a lot.
Sorry, we missed a few.
Here.
That was too far, I think.
No, it's not
Okay.
fine.
You got to crawl before you walk in the work. Absolutely. Me and my partner are both 19. I saw a junk removal sign driving home from school and thought it was a good idea. 10 minutes later, my childhood friend texted me about starting a junk removal company. It was meant to be.
That's pretty cool.
That's way cooler of a story than our story, I feel like. What's going on, Tactical 760 up in California? Dan from the Furniture Guys has a video guy come in 2 days a week to film content with his crews. It's a great idea. Something that we can do. We like doing our own content, but that's obviously going to be something that happens soon as well. How long does it take to start getting business? It's very dependent, okay? And everyone's success here, it rides on two very important things. And I've already said it probably 50 times, but I'm going to say it again. Your ability to market and your ability to sell, right? And here's another caveat to what I was talking about earlier. Even if you have experience in marketing and sales, you don't have experience in marketing and sales when it comes into relation of junk removal. In junk removal, a lot of times people that have been in the industry like to call it a luxury service. And the reason why we say that is that the average consumer, which is your B2C clients, your household clients, residential clients, don't have $500 to $600 laying around for junk removal.
Or they would rather spend it on something else. Like, if people want a new phone, they buy it because they want it. Nobody necessarily wants junk removal.
Yeah, it typically comes in necessity, which means that we have to be prepared to still sell people when they need to get it done. So that's a big thing. So really just depends on your guys' ability to market and sell. That'll dictate how long it takes for you to get busy. There's also other 100 variables that will determine your ability to be successful, or how fast you're successful, I should say.
Do you do door flyers, door hangers?
Okay.
When you are at a job site.
Do we do door hangers? Yes, we do. Yeah, we just ordered like 500 or something. AK puts them out whenever he can, whenever he's not busy working. You know what I mean? There's also been a big thing about yard signs.
Yeah.
I guess they're illegal now. So they used to be a big driver of business.
Yeah.
Just something to be mindful of, guys. Right.
We try to have him put the door hangers out whenever he's at complexes and he has like time between jobs. That's when he'll do them.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Appreciate you, Ricardo. That was a great message. Ricardo said that he's been 5 months full-time into junk removal, and he loves us guys. We love you too, buddy. Tired of junk property services. We love Jeremy. Appreciate you being on, Jeremy. I know you're a busy guy. All right, so what about areas that are not warm all year like Austin? I'm assuming you're asking about the differences in business. And to be honest, we can't speak to you about, we can't speak to every individual area, okay? It really comes down to, where do you live, right? And how populated it is, and how big of a need for the service is, and how much commercial jobs you have, or how many commercial clients you have.
Or even your ability to, go out and do the jobs. Like, if you have too much snow that you can't even drive through it, then...
But what I will say, I just saw Heavy Load Hauling posted. If you guys don't know Heavy Load Hauling, you can look them up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. They're up in Pennsylvania. They get a lot of snow. They made a post about it. And they had actually, I guess, I don't know what their full story is. You'd have to ask them. But what I was understanding from the video was that they started in snow plowing because that's a business that is much needed in a place with a lot of snow, and then switched to junk removal. So junk removal, it doesn't go away. Like people's junk doesn't go away because it's cold outside. So it's really comes down to consumers' habits, their spending habits. Because right now, what are people focused on? They're focused on buying gifts. They're not focused on getting junk removed from their property. But excuse me, in that same breath, they might be interested in getting junk removed from their home to make space for the family that's coming into town or whatever. So it's a double-edged sword, and it's really just highly dependent. So there's that. Right. Luis said he left police work 5 years ago and started a remodeling business. That's when he realized junk removal was as much of a needed service. So he bought a rust bucket of a trailer, and the rest was history. So, guys, your story doesn't have to be glamorous. Like, at the end of the day, we are picking up junk, but you can make a legitimate business out of this. So, all right. So, Cam, that's a budget, Cam. Said if you're only starting with about $12,000, I like how he said only, flexing on the rest of the group. Would you focus on ads or website and SEO? Also, is it worth it to pay monthly for CRM from the start of your business? I'll let you answer first, and then.
No, I want you to answer the first part first. I'm curious to what you'll say.
Yeah. So I think that it depends on what your goal is. If you're just trying to get work right off the bat, then ads will always be over SEO. Okay, that's just first and foremost. If you guys want an immediate result, meaning like you pay money, someone calls you, and then you have an opportunity to book work, ads is the way to go. But if you're Cam, if you're comfortable, if you got 12 grand in the bank account, I assume you're probably financially responsible, and which means that you're not gonna you have money to live off of. So I would say go the SEO route if you can afford to kind of go the slow way. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you have $12,000, you probably have a good job, so you should start with SEO and let it work for you while you do your job, and then go from there. And I would also say to have a CRM from the very beginning.
Yeah, you guys can get Jobber, get a free trial for Jobber in any of our links in any of our social medias. We don't make a ton of money off of social media. We really don't make any money at all, but we do make money when you guys support us that way. So if you haven't signed up for Jobber, now would be a good time. And the more you guys do that, the more we can do these. And the reason why we would say get a CRM from the beginning, guys, is that our first 6 months, we had no way to collect all the customers' information. We did $65,000 in revenue. Now, we regularly send out emails to our customers and book jobs off of that. So had we sent out multiple emails within that 6 month time frame and just gotten every single customer to book one more job, we would have made an extra $65,000. And that's the simple math of it. That's not including customers that might have had second or third or fourth jobs, or jobs that were bigger than the ones we had previously done. And in the beginning, our average job size wasn't big. It was like in the 200s. So get a CRM when you can financially afford it. They're usually between 50 and 200 bucks. And let that be a cost to the business. It's a good cost to have. I'd rather see you spend $200 a month on a good CRM than spend $200 a month on like door hangers or something. So that's that. All right, back to Facebook. Texcoma, hello from Texas. What's going on, guys? If you're slow, get some guerrilla marketing in, yard signs and door hangers. Guys, get any type. If you're slow, get out there and do what you got to do, man. Like at the end of the day, and if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, ask someone who is. Just ask. I went through all of our Instagram messages, so it's not backed up anymore. So if you guys have questions after this live, go to Instagram, shoot us a message. We'll get back to it. I got to get to the Facebook messages, because I think I have like 1,000 unread on there. But I will get through those this week. I plan on it. So there's that. All right. What is the best marketing resource you have used to scale? I am just starting.
What do you think it is? I feel like
There-
you're gonna say Instagram.
No. Okay, so Greer Johnson asked, what is the best marketing resource? And guys, I have to be honest with you. There is no best marketing resource. I know that you want the silver bullet, but it does not exist in business, okay? So Greer, I have no idea where you're located. I have no idea how much money you have. There's so many factors that play into this. So if you guys are new to junk removal and you're trying to pick a way to market, what I recommend you do is picking a lead source that you understand, okay? What I mean by that, do you understand how to do Google ads? Yes or no? If it's no, then it's not that. Do you know how to set up a Thumbtack account? If you can set up a Thumbtack account, go that route. If you understand how to build a website and do SEO, or you're okay with having someone else do it, go that route. If you understand how to navigate Facebook and make videos and post on Facebook, and you know how to run an ad on Facebook, do that. Same with Instagram or TikTok or whatever it is. If you don't understand any of that, but you know how to put a door hanger or a yard sign together, do that. If you guys don't know any of that, just start going to your friends and family and asking who wants junk removal.
Yeah, but for us personally, I think the best has been different at every like stage in business.
It's changed. It really, really has changed a lot. He needs a hot. I'm sorry. Pausing. Going back to YouTube. I need a hot Latina. Yes, you do. You absolutely do, guys. If you don't have a hot Latina in your life, if you don't have a hot Latina in your life, got to get on it. I hate to break it to you, but it's the truth, and that's why I'm successful. Now, we're going to get back over to the YouTube. Denise said, in cold places, make sure that you say you will be there guaranteed. Keep in mind, most people are canceling because of weather. Show up and share that you show. So Denise Leones owns a pretty big junk removal and garbage company, I believe. And it sounds like in a northern state. I can't remember where she operates out of. Sorry, Denise. But that's a great piece of advice. And I also think that we've had people try to cancel on us when it's rainy, and we're like, oh no, we're still coming. Like, rain, snow, or shine, like we're there. So be mindful of that. I think that's a great piece of advice. So Steven asked, how long did it take us to get steady work week to week?
I don't remember.
We talked about this recently. Week to week. Okay, so from the time that we started junk removal, guys, we have never been in a situation where we went longer than 2 weeks without work. Okay, 2 full weeks, like 14 days. Now, what I will say is it wasn't until like January, so 6 months in, to where we were starting to have work every week, to where like we kind of relaxed. We're like, okay, is it going to be a $2,000 week or a $5,000 week? We don't really know, but we know that something is going to come down the pipeline and we are going to have work. So for us personally, it took about 6 months. So
Yeah. I feel like it took longer just because I think that we were still like scared almost
Yeah.
as to when the next job was going to come.
yeah,
Not scared, but just like if it was going to be enough for the goals that we had.
yeah. What I will say, Steven, if you're still in here, so for you guys that don't know, we hired an ex-employee from Junk Luggers, okay? And the Junk Luggers in our location was doing 1.2 to like 1.5 million a year, okay? And even he told me, AK told me, that a lot of their jobs were same-day bookings. So be mindful of that, guys. Not a lot of people are, like, this is the first time in a long time that we've been scheduled out for an entire week, which is amazing because, like, we're just like, chilling now.
Yeah, and before, like, our scheduled out was like we still had little
Space.
gaps
Yeah.
throughout the week, but now we don't. Like, I was like, I don't know what to do with
Yeah.
the rest of the leads.
Yeah. So, yeah. And that kind of gets into the question Charles Johnson asks is like, how do you get booked out? And it's like, guys, like, it just comes down to time and marketing. And I think that a lot of y'all are naive to the cost of being booked out. And the reality is that a lot of these companies that are booked out every single day with 4 to 8 jobs a day, or not, no, it's like really like if they have like 4 jobs a truck and they've got 4 trucks, right? In order to get to that level, you're spending $10,000 to $20,000 to $30,000 a month in marketing costs. So that's
It's cold.
yeah. I'm sorry, I was getting hot. I'll turn it off. But that's the thing. So that's what I would say. Ricky, you wanna?
I have a soft wash company. Love the content, and y'all hit the nail on the head about keeping your 9 to 5. I ran my company for 2.5 years before I made the move.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show, guys. And listen, like we said, everybody's journey here is going to be a little bit different,
Yeah.
and a little bit. So you might be challenged with some things that other people are not challenged with, and vice versa.
I feel like a lot of people ask us if they should leave their 9 to 5 because we always post about leaving our 9 to 5, but I mean, I was only working 3 days a week, because I was going to college and I didn't have a job that I liked. I knew that I could go get a better job that I would enjoy more, like any day, that I would make more money at any day.
Mhm.
And I just didn't because I cared more about like going to school than going to serve. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so every situation is different.
It is. It is. And some of you guys actually might enjoy your jobs a little bit more than you think you do once you start exploring business. We make our content to push the people that need the push that are already on the edge, right? But again, I really got to emphasize that like junk removal or just owning a business in general, it's not glamorous. It's not a shortcut to being rich. It is it will be the hardest thing that you ever do. And truly and honestly, it'll be one of the hardest because the challenges never stop. And if you're okay with stagnation, then you'll be fine. But like if you're actually in pursuit of building a business that's going to have some sort of legacy, it's going to be hard. So, all right. So, I don't know how to say that name. Do you?
Arcangel? I
Okay.
don't know. Sorry.
Mr. Lopez said, "Can I pay for ads on Facebook?" Yes, guys, you can absolutely pay for ads on Facebook. All right. Will, good to see you as well. Thanks for the shout out. Ricardo said, "Thanks for sharing your content. It helps a lot for new business first year and in learning a lot from you guys. We appreciate that. That's our goal, guys, is that you continue to learn from us. And at the end of the day, like we're only sharing our knowledge based off of our experience. So that's why you got to take it with a grain of salt. But we try to do our best to understand where everyone could be in their position, and we do that by chatting with some of the biggest names in junk removal and guys that have been around for 5, 10, 15 years and making sure that our thought processes don't conflict with what coincides with a successful junk removal business. A lot of times, guys, in business, you don't need to set out to change the way a business operates. You need to figure out how you can just replicate it in your area, in your market. So, all right. So James Rule wants to know what is the population size in our area and what does that cover and how large is our coverage area?
You can answer.
So in our direct market, we have about 55,000 people, but in the greater Austin area, we have like 2.5 million. and we do operate within Austin, the Austin area. But we do try to get as much work as we can in Kyle, and we do get about 50% of the work from our local area
Yeah. And when we first started to get busy, we were only getting work
in
from
Kyle.
Kyle. Like
Yeah.
that was our goal.
Yeah, that was really cool. I think that was probably the most fun time in our business because we could jump in the truck and be at any job at any given time within like 10 minutes. So hopefully that answers that for you. Will Neal asks, how do you guys feel about group networking like BNI for junk removal? I have yet to be to a BNI meeting, but I've heard nothing but great things. And I think that any opportunity that you guys have to go get face to face with some of your ideal referrals and ideal customers, you have to. And you should be doing that. Absolutely. That's what we're doing now because we're off the truck. That was something that we were limited to doing because, I mean, how are you going to go out there when we were leaving at 6 o'clock in the morning and not getting home until 10 o'clock at night? We didn't have the time to do it. So, all right.
Got some over here.
I have a hot Latina. Okay. Cam's gonna be using our jobber link. Cam knows what's up. All right. And then Charles Johnson asks, how do you stay consistent? I have a good answer for this. Do you have anything?
Go.
Guys, if you want to stay consistent in your business, you need to consistently do the things that you do not want to do. Every single time that you do something that moves that needle, but you think to yourself, oh, I don't like doing that. Like, oh, I need to send out emails this week. Oh, I need to go drive around to apartment complexes and talk to these people. Oh, I got to go put yard signs out. Oh, I got to go put door hangers out. Oh, I got to spend money on ads. When you get that feeling, you need to lean into it. And you need to do that consistently every single day until your business is on autopilot. And until you get to the point where you feel like you made it, you have to keep working. That's it. That's how you stay consistent. So keep yourself motivated. Set goals, have expectations, but make sure you set goals in a way that are achievable. Now that is a freaking cool comment. Okay. Z.Captain said, huge fan of your work. A unique content on YouTube. I haven't seen he hasn't seen any other content like yours that's accessible and practical and actionable. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. That's great. I love to hear that. I think that one of the things that Jackie and I really try to do when we put out the informational content is to have it be actionable. I freaking hate the hoopla stuff. Like I hate watching a 30-minute video that's like, oh, learn how to do this or blah blah blah, and then like you get to the end of the video, it's like I didn't freaking learn anything. I hate that. Such a waste of time. All right, Denise says, so true. I love my job, roll out of my bed, sit at my computer, and make a lot of money. However, I love the freedom that comes with owning a business. Got to get on Denise's level. All right, this is a great question from Aluminum Ninja, and then we'll get back to you guys on Facebook. Do you have any advice on retargeting via text blast? How do you structure them? We don't do text blasts.
Yeah, we haven't done it. In the very beginning, I remember looking it up. Seems pretty straightforward. I'm assuming you just put all the phone numbers that you have in there.
Yeah.
And
we can do it on Jobber. We just don't send them out. So when you guys are going to send either a text blast or an email blast, you need to make sure, again, that is kind of more soft selling, but you also need to add some sort of promotional in there. When you guys do that, expect a bit of unsubscription coming from that. You want to try to stay 2% and less. So if you had like 100 customers, like 2 customers are going to unsubscribe. But you have to make it valuable, right? The whole premise of soft selling and like getting people to interact and really join in with your mission of serving the community is making sure that you're serving them with valuable content. So that would be my piece of advice. Really difficult to do that via text, but I'm sure you can figure out a way. ChatGPT is a good friend. So, all right. Holy crap. Josh Hunt, I hope you're still in the chat, brother. I have almost 600 five-star reviews and a good reputation, and I still can't seem to get to the point of hiring somebody full time. And what about BNI and SEO? Um,
Um, I guess why do you feel like you can't hire somebody? Would be
yeah.
the first question I have.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Josh, and assume that your personal overhead is too high, your business overhead is too high, or you just are worried about making that leap. And I'm going to tell you right now, Josh, like Jackie and I were both pretty scared to hire our first employee to be on the truck. And what I will say is that it has been the best decision that we've made in business to date. So if you can afford to bring somebody on and keep them busy for at least the month, like you know that you can pay the paycheck even if you don't have the work, you need to do it. As with 600 five-star reviews, you've been around long enough to, I think, really get after it. So hopefully that answers your question. BNI, we just touched on it, so you were probably in there listening or rant about that. SEO needs to be the forefront for anybody's business once you have the capital to invest into having someone do your SEO.
Especially with that many reviews.
Yeah, absolutely, with that many reviews. Okay, so Luis asked, where do you guys dump? Some of the places to dump around San Antonio don't allow you to dump appliances. Is there a special place y'all dump at?
It's not special. It's a landfill, but for appliances, we try to recycle them. So,
We don't try, we do.
yeah.
We don't, so we don't take appliances to anywhere but scrap yards. So you guys got to find a metal recycling center or scrap yard and take them there. That's what I would do. Right, back over to YouTube Live.
There's one up here. This
Okay, how did you get your first job and how did it go? There you go.
He thinks we got it off of Facebook. I think it was off Thumbtack, but I guess we'll never know.
Yeah.
And it was great. He called us back like 3, 4 times. He's very nice. It was a like cardboard job.
Yeah.
There was a bit of paint, so we were stuck with that paint for a while until we figured out how to get rid of it. But it was great.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it went. And it was super easy and it was fun. I mean, we had, I will say that the way that our journey happened, it was very much God's plan for us to have it happen that way because it was really fun. It lit the fire under our butts to like, yeah, this is what we're going to do. And we just never really looked back since then. So we're very fortunate about that. Antonio has a hot and strong Latina. So just so you guys know, Antonio is doing good for himself. All right. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Denise. Trip down memory lane. While I was in my early 20s, I had a profitable moving hauling business, advertising primarily via Craigslist, made $2K profit in a single day. Will never forget that day. I was 23 years old. Yeah, that's it's incredible, guys. There's so much opportunity out here for you, and you just have to find your way in your place within the business. So I hope that everybody can kind of find a way to do that. So JD Ann Rogers over on Facebook asked us, how do y'all price?
She asked, how did y'all price?
How did y'all price?
Like before, now?
We can just talk about how we price now. So guys, we have a base rate for the truck. Okay, our truck is 15 cubic yards. It costs $815 to fill that truck up full. We have broken down into loads, so you have quarter, half, 3/4, full, and then we have a minimum price pickup of $165. Cubic yards is super simple, guys. It's length times width times height, and then there's a formula for it. So if you just go online, do a cubic yard calculator, you guys can figure out the cubic yards for any equipment setup that you want. And you just have to determine what the price is for that full load. And the best way to do that is to call the competition in your area and find out what they're charging for per cubic yard. So our rate's $55 per cubic yard, and that's what works for us.
Yeah.
All right. So Dawn asked, what do we mean by SEO? Guys, SEO is search engine optimization. I know for the ones that have been here the whole call, you're going to hear it again. So guys, when you're on Google and you search for a business, let's say junk removal near me, the very first thing that pops up is going to be a Google LSA sponsored ad. The second thing that pops up will be a Google PPC, pay per click ad. Then you'll have a map pack, which is all the businesses that are in Google Maps. And then the very first thing that is a non-sponsored link will be your SEO or your search engine optimization. It should be your website. And the way search engine optimization works, it's like based off of the keywords that are built into your website, and it tells Google to rank you for phrases and words that are searched on Google. Sounds really complicated. It's pretty simple, also complicated. Okay. Who does your editing and your content? Us. And Tony. So we have a brand manager for YouTube. All the long form videos that you guys see on YouTube, we do pay for that. We pay a very pretty penny for that.
Too pretty.
Too pretty. We pay a lot of money for that. Outside of that, okay, we do all of our own editing for short form content. So all the ideas come from us, all the edits come from us, all the content, it's us and ChatGPT, but us. So Jeffrey Beasley Jr., my boy Jeffrey on here watching us, stalking us. When you guys start, how did y'all price?
That's what I thought it was for. We kind of just guessed.
We guessed.
We looked at stuff and we were like, 300 sounds good.
Yep.
And the customer liked it. They usually did because we were pretty cheap. I don't think we were ever really cheap, and then we just slowly started realizing what our prices were. Then we finally figured out how to call people.
Yeah. Yep.
And see what they were charging, and yeah.
Yeah. What I'll do is I think I can put it in the chat. Can I put stuff in the chat? There we go. I'm going to send you guys our YouTube channel on Facebook. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, we actually have a video on how to price there. Also, if you guys don't know, on Facebook and everyone that's watching on YouTube and whatever, we have a full how to make your first $10,000 a month in junk removal course free on YouTube. Cool thing is YouTube does pay us. So when you guys watch the videos, we do make a little bit of money off of that. So very cool for you guys to do that and check us out that way. But basically any question you guys can really think of is probably in that 35-minute course that we've done. So, right, going back over to here, to the YouTube side. Brother, any advice you can give to me? I have a pickup, F-150, okay, and a Ram. Where did I leave off? Okay. Work truck with a lift gate. If you were in my shoes, where would you begin? Please and thank you in advance. Neil, I hope you're still on YouTube watching this. You have any pieces of advice for Neil? Neil, just get started, brother. You got the equipment that you need. Get out there. Learn how to market. Learn how to sell. Start with something simple, like maybe like a Facebook ad, or you can do yard signs. But whatever it is that you feel like you understand the best, go out there, find some customers, make some money, and get addicted to the business. Oh, the dogs. Sorry. Okay, what's next? All right, the captain said, so we had that story about how he got into the business, but then he fell back into the corporate life. And listen, it's okay, brother. Like, it's okay if you guys are in the corporate life and live in that corporate life. Like, what I will say is I don't want anybody, I don't want anybody to really leave their their what is the word I'm looking for?
Um,
Don't make a rash decision and leave sustainability to start a company. If you're doing well for yourself and you're just kind of tired of it, or you're upset about where you're at in your life, take the time to build things slowly. Don't just jump ship, because that's a good way to really turn your life upside down. All right, Charles Johnson wants to know, how do we gain commercial contracts and apartment complexes?
you have to go out and talk to them. You also have to do email marketing to them. Figure out their process of how they get vendors, basically, if they have one, if they don't. And just make sure you're set up for it. Make sure you have insurance, all
Insurance,
your
for sure.
insurances. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's the one thing. I actually just saw a Hermosi video about this not too long ago. B2C, okay, business to customer, right? That typically, for anything less than 500 bucks, only takes one touch point. Meaning that, like, if they need junk removal and you do junk removal, they will work with you. Okay, in plain language. But then with business to business, businesses are not that simple. They typically take 5 to 10 touch points before they decide to work with you. So just because you went and shook that manager's hand one time does not mean that they're going to work with you or pick you. But if you keep coming in over and over and over again, and you bring donuts and candy and say, hey, I'm just following up, see if I can get on your vendors list, or you get on the vendors list and you're already cleared with the insurance and all that stuff, now they're going to work with you. So
Yeah. I thought of something, but it went away.
oh,
Sorry.
okay. And then also, there's not anything like, we say contracts. There's no contracts in, like, unless you get like a really big job. So don't obsess over like getting a contract, because you're not going to get a contract. They switch vendors all the time. So all right, I like this. Antonio said before he leaves to watch the Cowboys play. Sorry that's your team, brother. Everybody here, fall to support each other, respect each other, because it's all under one love, and that's God. Have a good evening. I think that's a great message to end on. Thanks, Antonio. You have a great rest of your night. Um, Six Laka said, for ads, is it better to advertise a single service like garage cleanouts, or is it better to advertise just your company as a whole? That's a really good question.
I would try to advertise all of the main like groups first, see which ones you're getting jobs from, and then narrow it down to those.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Guys, you have to, like Jackie said, you have to advertise in groups, right? So like junk removal is a big broad thing, right? It's this big thing that, again, you have to educate your customers on. But garage cleanouts, like a garage cleanout, people can understand what that means. Like, oh, they're going to clean out my garage. Duh. So marketing garage cleanouts, marketing hot tub removals, shed demos, marketing,
Furniture removal,
furniture
appliance
removal. Thank you.
removal, yard debris, and there's some that you won't even like, so you won't want to advertise for them.
Yeah. So,
Maybe.
and then it really just depends on like what platform you're advertising, right? Like, you can be very broad on like Meta, but on like Google PPC, you can't be broad. It'll be dictated by your market and like the different keywords that you're marketing for. And the same with the SEO guys, like that also plays a huge role. So, good question. Choco, your little brother, says, "Bro, what's up? What's up, man or woman? Did y'all have insurance from the start?" Yes, we did. We had insurance from the very first week, because we got a client that asked for it, and we're like, well, guess we're gonna need it, so we got it, and then
Yeah, good thing we got it.
yeah, and then we never had not had insurance since then. All right, Neil said, thoughts on Thumbtack? Do you use them? Is it worth it?
Yeah, we used them for a good couple of months. I think it's worth it. Just depends how you use it.
It's good to start with in the beginning. If you want to streamline your ability to sell, you can use Thumbtack and learn how to sell customers.
Yeah, you also learn what customers are like and what they are probably going to say when they call you on the phone later on.
Yeah, it's a good learning lesson. It is going to cost money though, so be mindful of that. Guys, it costs money. Yeah. All right, Z Captain, go ahead and can you?
Let's see.
All right, so approximate initial startup costs in your experience, like specifics, insurance costs, SEO, advertising costs, other equipment.
What do you think for all of that?
Okay, so again, this is really going to be dependent on y'all and how you want to start your business. I think the ideal budget for someone that wants to start with everything that they need is probably five.
Everything? Does that include equipment, insurance, SEO, advertising?
Yeah, cheap truck and utility trailer.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah.
I think that starting, if you guys are going to start out and you have to get everything that includes a truck and trailer, get a website built, you could probably get away with about $5,000.
Yeah.
If you guys already have a truck, you could probably cut that in half. I think that the reality is you can start with nothing, relatively nothing. Again, Jack, if you guys weren't here in the beginning, Jackie and I, someone asked what we started with. We only had like a few $100s in the bank account, and that was for whatever bills were coming up. We took the first $1,000 from our first two jobs to get a truck. That truck made us another couple thousand, which bought our utility trailer. And that truck and utility trailer is what got us to our dump trailer. And so it really just comes down to your financial position when starting this. $5,000 would be pushing it. 7,500, it would be 7,500 to 10 grand. Really would be like if you have that money in the bank account, you can start a really killer business. You won't have to try as hard as Jackie and I did to get the ball rolling. So yeah, it's crazy.
Liability question mark.
Liability insurance, yes. That is the insurance we started with. General liability, guys, it's relatively cheap. Should be between 100 and 200 bucks a month. You want to have it. And guys, like, get your LLC set up as soon as you can as well. Because if you do have any, like it didn't really matter for us. We started everything legit from the beginning just because, like, I guess that's what we thought we needed to do, right? We didn't really know any better. We just thought that's what you were supposed to do. So we did that. And I don't know, what was I saying with that? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Hour and 20 in, we're slowing down. All right, so Aluminum Ninja said, I've had 3 different Google Ads managers and still never seen anything more than break even. Same here, brother. We'll let you know when we find a good one. I'm hoping the one that we're on now is a good one. I think he is, but
we've seen a little better than break even, but
yeah, we have. Casey ran our ads, was running our Google Ads. I think we did well-ish, but it also might just come down to our market too. Like we might just not be spending enough, you know. So there's always that. What would be the ideal truck and trailer combo that would be the most profitable, knowing what you know now? I would find the lightest 14-foot dump trailer you could find, or maybe even 12-foot, but I think 14-foot is probably where you need to be. Lighter because it's going to be easier on the transmission. And I would pair that with a 3/4 ton diesel truck. And I would go with something reliable. That would be the best setup. But if you guys wanted to be the most profitable, if you could get a dump truck, I think that would be the best. But dump trucks are expensive, so.
Can you pay your personal bills and the business bills with the company money?
So can you? Yes. Should you? No. So the way that you would set that up, right, is you would take owner's draws or you would pay yourself a check every month. So that really comes down to your own individual preferences and how you want to run taxes and all that kind of stuff. We are not tax experts by any means, so I'm not even going to touch that one with a 10-foot pole. I would just strongly recommend consulting with a tax professional. But it is your money, and the government only knows what you tell them. So there's that. Um, Taxation is theft. Do you have challenges with content creation and learning how? Did we have challenges with content creation and learning how to do it?
Yes, but I don't think they're the same challenges that a lot of other people have. We've never talked about this, but we already did content in some sort of way before because we power lifted and we both like individually liked doing our own videos just because we were show offs and we liked our lifts.
Yeah.
So we already knew how to put like videos together, kind of.
Yeah, you learned that I also rode BMX and did my own videos
Yeah.
for a long time ago as well. So, no, we didn't have any struggle with it, but as you guys have probably seen, we have like 70 something thousand on Instagram and like almost 70,000 on Facebook and like mid 20s on YouTube and low 40s on TikTok. That type of virality, it did take us a long time to learn. Not a long time, but it took us a lot of trial and error on. It took us over 200 pieces of content before we went viral on Instagram, and it probably took another 100 to 150 pieces of content on all the other platforms before we grew those audiences as well. And YouTube is still a big challenging game that we're learning, and content is something that we're always putting effort into. It's really difficult. So yeah, it's a great question. He also said in one of our comments, we said that we spent $15,000 with the company to learn something. What was it that you learned? Do you want to talk about that?
You can.
Okay. So in December, we got a business coach. Really, we paid 15 grand to learn how to run Instagram ads from a guy named Luke Dobson. So if you guys want to look him up, his name's Luke Dobson. It'll be the first thing that pops up. And there's a very specific funnel on Instagram that you can run to get business for your service-based business. So if you guys want to hit him up, more than happy to do that. And I can always put people in contact with him if you need. So yeah. Walter said, love you guys. Thanks for the information. God keep this too well in health. Thank you, Walter.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate you. God bless you. So Zay asked, how about if you had to use your truck as a daily driver too, which truck would you get? I would say if you're going to get a reliable truck, you need to go either a Ford F-250 with a 7.3 diesel or 6.7, or you need to get a Chevy Duramax 6.6. I think mid to late 2000s on that one. Those will both be pretty comfortable choices. Dodges are nothing but problems. I promise you guys, stay away from Dodges. There's going to be someone on here that's going to say that they love their Dodge and yada yada yada, but I promise you, Dodges are problems. Okay. All right. Luis wants to know, how do we feel about implementing dumpster rentals?
We feel great about dumpsters. I think it's something that we will do in the future. We're not sure when yet, but
Yeah, we've rented our dump trailer as a dumpster a few times. They're definitely a super beneficial part of owning a junk removal business, and it just adds another service that you can market to keep yourself busy. So, but having the setup can be getting that setup can be very pricey, just so people know. So, all right. Zay said, powerlifters, y'all are my tribe. I'm still working towards the 1,000-pound club. How about y'all? What are your best lifts? Baby, you want to start with your best lifts?
mine are lame.
No, just tell the people what your best lifts are.
I'm a
for
little girl.
Yeah, for reference, she is like 135-pound female. So
Yeah. I'm 5'1". My best deadlift was
374.
yes, no,
374 in the gym.
376.
Oh, okay.
Don't take the 2 pounds from me.
Okay, 376.
My best bench was 181, and my best squat was 331.
331. Yeah. Yeah. So again, Zay asked us about what our best numbers were. We're highly competitive powerlifters, guys. So my last meet was January, February. It was
I
early.
don't remember.
It was earlier this year. I squatted 727 pounds. I benched 429 pounds, and I deadlifted 683 pounds. So, Zay, you're chasing the 1,000-pound club. I am chasing the 2,000-pound club. So, yeah, great questions, guys. Love them. Love them. Jeremy, give me some input, brother. Ask me a question. Shout out to Jeremy. Guys, also, if you didn't know, we do one-on-one mentorships. If you're interested in that, you guys can jump into our DMs and shoot us a message. Jeremy was one of our very first clients. He saw a lot of success, and we actually have a testimonial from him on our YouTube. So check that out as well. We'll have another one coming out here shortly with a couple other guys we've done mentorships with. So, yeah, pretty cool. We get a little break, a little breaky break.
Yeah.
Still got 30 minutes.
Everyone's having dinner.
Yeah. If people start to slow down on the questions, maybe we'll jump off a little early. I don't know. We'll see. 2 hours is a long time commitment to sit in one place and answer questions all day. So.
Our dog's tired.
You want to go let her in. All right. Game changer. Appreciate you, Jeremy.
Okay.
Just let her come up here. Oh, tack dog. She's cold.
Hey, girl. She wouldn't stop crying, so we had to put her out. And
So Zay asked, does your competitive drive in powerlifting have any translate to any business / entrepreneurship? I think it does. What do you think?
I don't. Why do you think it does?
Well, I am actually this year. I think this year is going to be a full decade that I've been competing in powerlifting. It's coming up, and I think the biggest thing is consistency and like doing things that you don't like to do. One of the biggest things about getting strong as a powerlifter is like doing things that you don't want to do, which is doing like lifting the little weights and doing reps and sets that you don't want to do and not maxing out all the time. So when you can be consistent about doing the things you don't want to do, it plays a huge role in business. So
See, the only reason I don't feel like that is because I feel like I always like to do even like the little things.
Well, you are different in that regard. So Jackie, out of the two of us, Jackie is not the lazy one. I am. So that's the big challenge is
That's not true. He just doesn't like doing the easy and the hard things. He picks one or the other at a time.
All right. UMB MMA. Dude, I appreciate you being in for this long. You've been in for like pretty much half the call, so we appreciate that. He asks, do I get a dump trailer or a utility trailer to start? Towing capacity is only 6,000 pounds. I would get a utility trailer if that's the case.
Or a landscaping trailer.
Yeah, landscaping trailers because they'll have higher walls. Utility trailers are usually cheap. And guys, you can build up the walls on them. You can use tarps and what are they called? Straps. So you can hold down your loads, and they're pretty cheap. So.
Have you ever brought the dog with you to jobs? No, she is crazy. Like how she was right now, she was maybe 20 times worse. a little while ago. She's still kind of a pup. She's getting better now.
But
Um,
I don't know if you guys can see the sheer volume of this dog, but
she's very nice, but she would like jump on everybody,
yeah.
and it's just not
Like, look
something.
how big this foot is.
Yeah.
Look at that.
This is my hand next to it.
Yeah. So she's a big dog. Um, yeah, we haven't taken her out on jobs because it's already stressful enough to go to a job and just make sure that you're accommodating to your customer. So we don't need a monster terrorizing our customers. Maybe we can get her to soften people.
She's getting better though. We will eventually.
Yeah.
Or have her at our like office.
Yeah,
place.
she's gonna be an office dog for sure.
Look at this girl.
All right. Have you considered doing residential moving and furniture delivery as service, or is it not as profitable as junk removal? I'll let you answer that one.
We've done moving. We did moving on Thumbtack whenever, well, not on Thumbtack, but we got moving jobs from Thumbtack whenever we were just getting started because it's what there was the most of on Thumbtack. And they were also the easiest to book for us.
Yeah.
For some reason. Maybe because we were so cheap. But they're hard. And
It's a lot of work.
yeah, and we just didn't like it. Like, it was a lot of work, and it would have required a lot more work from us to do an even better job and be like a legit moving company.
Yeah. So, like Jackie, to piggyback off of what she said, we had done some moving jobs, and what I'll tell you is that we ended up meeting an actual moving company on a job that we got, and so they invited me to go help them on a moving job that next week. Shout out to Nick and Elliot over at Butter Brothers. And once I saw how they ran jobs, I was like, oh, we should not be moving people because there is like an art to it on, wrapping the stuff and making sure it's protected and that it's put into the truck the right way. And the way that you load the truck really just determines how well the job goes, So it's not of our interest, but there's definitely a lot of money in moving. And now that we're like good friends with 3 of the top moving companies in Austin, I personally don't want to create more of a more competition for them. And not that there isn't room for us in Austin, but I don't want to be a direct competitor to my good friends. I would go buy a landscaping company or a pressure washing company or something like that before I decided to do moving.
And junk removal and moving go very like hand in hand. A lot of our clients are moving or they're going to move, and we can refer them to our friends and they can do the same.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Jeremy said this is a horse.
It is a horse. She's a horse. The other thing about that too is that they, especially like Matthew over at Limestone, they have the capacity to do junk removal, and Nick does too now. So they very much could offer that as a service, but I think that they also have made that same decision not to do that on our behalf in the same regard. So that's also why we don't do it, because it's like almost like a mutual decision of like what's best for all of us to be successful, not like just one of us to be overly successful, if that makes sense. So
I'm a mover and do junk removal after the move as a side hustle only. Good money.
Yeah, there's a lot of good money in moving, guys, but we'll tell you, because obviously we just talked about how strong we are, right? Even just Jackie and I, it's a very tough job being a mover. Being a mover is not an easy job. I would own a moving company if I hired out now. But again, we wouldn't do it in our local area. So also, Six Laka asked us that Isuzu's truck gets stuck ever. It has not gotten stuck, fingers crossed, since we've owned it. So it has 6 wheels. It's not 4-wheel drive, but I don't know, just the way that it sits, Even in the muddiest days on the landfill so far, we have not got stuck. So that's good. So Zay asked, but in terms of profitability and time efficiency, would you say junk hauling is more profitable on a per hourly basis?
I would say so.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. Yeah.
A lot of junk removal jobs aren't going to be as big if you're doing residential. Like you won't make as much, but versus time, yes.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
A $250 moving job is gonna take at least an hour to 2 hours, whereas a $250 junk removal job will only take about 15 minutes. So, you know. All right, starting out, do you recommend yard signs or Google ads? If I was just starting out with no other information or context, I would say yard signs. So I'm sure you guys have answered this before, but did you guys start using using the U-Haul for junk removal? Yes, we did. That's what we started with was U-Hauls because we didn't have any equipment. We didn't have a truck or trailer or anything. So come here. Right. UBMMA says, what percent of jobs are fence, shed, hot tub removal rather than pick up and go? During the summer, we'd have like 1 to 2 jobs a week.
Okay.
That.
Lay down.
Lay down. She's got the zoomies. We'd have like 1 to 2 jobs a week that were a hot tub or a shed. So like we saw a lot more of that during the summer, absolutely. But there wasn't like a percentage, right? Like still right now, it's a lot of just pickup. So, right. Charles Johnson asked, have we ever used Chuck Sammy? We have not. We couldn't get on the Chuck Sammy when we started. No experience with it, unfortunately. Zay said, this live chat is so inspiring. More than you know. Thank you. Hey, we appreciate that. More than you know. We appreciate you being on and all the input. It helps drive the conversation. So
this dog is just doing circles on the couch.
And trying to bite the bear. Aye. Very cool. A lot of good questions, guys. I've enjoyed this chat a lot. Typically, like when you jump on, or when I've jumped onto other people's lives, they're not usually this active, and people typically ask a lot of like crazy questions. But you guys have done a really good job of like asking different questions, so we appreciate that because it does get mind numbing, asking the same things over and over. So this may be a stupid question, but is putting yard signs on street corners or electrical wood posts okay? Or where would you place them? Neil, not a stupid question at all. So there's some areas like California, I guess, is like really big on like stapling them on the wood poles, but you got to put them anywhere that there's a lot of visibility and high traffic, right? So that one intersection that you sit at after work when you're waiting to get home and everyone's stuck up in traffic, that's where you need to put them, if that makes sense. So make sure you guys check your local area to figure out if you're even allowed to put up yard signs, okay? Be sure to do that so you don't get hit with some fines. All right. So I'm going to go back to here. Jeremy asked, have you guys considered doing biohazard hauling?
Have you?
I've started toying with the idea of looking into hazard cleanup.
Yeah, like crime scene cleaning.
Crime scene cleaning. If that's what you're talking about, Jeremy, we are. So we're at the point in business now that once we start expanding, we are going to be looking at adding other services, and that's one of the ones that we are thinking about doing. And we kind of have a little in on it. from somebody that we know. So it might be something that yeah, two people. So it might be something that you see us do. So Vincent says, "What's the lowest you would charge on a removal? Do you keep a flat rate?"
The lowest? What's your lowest? I like to be at 75.
Yeah, I think seven.
Tanner sometimes goes to 49, but it's very, very dependent on the job.
Yeah, well, if it's a mattress,
Yeah.
like one mattress that's like 5 minutes away, $49.
See, I don't like that because we pay $30.
That's true.
So I like to be at 75. I try to sell the 75.
Yeah. And then or like if you're not at a quarter load, it's 165. Sometimes we drop it down to 149 just because it looks nicer and feels better to the customer. Um, and then we go from there. So yeah, we do have minimums, but guys, don't be married to your prices all the time. Like, I'm not telling you guys to do a job for $200 less than you should be, but don't be married to the price so that to the point where it's detrimental to your business. Okay, like if a customer is willing to work with you for like within a $50 to $75 range, take the job, get the review. It'll only add to your business, and it's a customer that you can use or have later on. So, Charles Johnson said, "How much to save per job?" You
How
want me?
much to save? Yeah.
Charles, it's really dependent on you. I take 10% of I take 10% of gross revenue from the business and put it away. That's what I do. That's gross revenue. So that, and then I still have all my other expenses that have like our paychecks, our employees' paychecks, taxes, all that kind of stuff. So just keep that in mind. So Zay is asking, would an F-150 work as an initial cheap truck to start out with, or would you say go straight to the F-250? I think that as long it just depends on what you're going to be towing with it. We started with a half-ton truck, but then we upgraded to a three-quarter ton pretty quick off. Always do what you can afford. If I was going to start back again tomorrow, I would go look for a used half ton truck because that's going to be the cheapest way for me to get back into it. So, absolutely can use that. I actually think that if I was to do it all over again, I would get a used, yeah, like a used F 150 and a utility trailer. That's what I would do. So, Neil wants to know where we get yard signs from and how much do they cost. UZ Marketing is the cheapest place to get them, and it just depends on how many you get. So you're gonna spend a couple $100 though for sure. Good question. The dog finally calmed down. The questions calmed down and the dog calmed down. Is that a coincidence? I don't think so. Yeah. So Spook said he's been using his Ford Ranger 2.3 with a 5-speed. I mean, if you can, yeah, if you can get away with using a utility trailer on like even a Ford Ranger, freaking send it. Ranger danger, baby. We've done a junk removal out of Jackie's car, believe it or not.
We did.
Our second job, we did it out of her car. Yeah, pretty much all the utility trailers are the same. If you can do dual axle, I would do a dual axle, not a single axle, and I would go for a 16-footer. They shouldn't be more than like $3,000, and you can find them used on Facebook Marketplace like all day long for the price that you're looking for. So, yeah, utility trailer. You're not like, but the utility trailer is very, very simple. It's literally just tubes of steel welded together with axles put with some sort of like leaf spring system and wood planks. So it's like really hard for them to mess up a utility trailer. So should be good for that. 123 Christ Kids said, "Hey guys, keep up the great work. You guys are an encouragement to all couples in business together. From a fellow veteran, have a great day, guys. Stay blessed." Thank you for your service and your kind words. We really do appreciate it. All right. So Mohammed says, how about if I don't have a budget to buy a truck? What about truck rentals from Home Depot? You guys can rent trucks, regular trucks from Home Depot or Lowe's. Sorry, I couldn't remember the competitor's name. But those are only during the weekdays. Good option. Or you can do the U-Haul or budget. What other? Penske.
Mhm. I think that's it.
Yeah, anywhere you can rent a truck. So, all right. Jeremy wants to know how much you guys upcharge for hoarder and homeless encampment cleanouts. We haven't done a bunch of them, Jeremy, so I can't tell you that. We haven't had to upcharge really anybody for any jobs. We've been pretty fortunate about our journey. Like we haven't had.
Our hoarder, no. Our hoarder cleanouts have not been like hoarder cleanouts.
Yeah.
They've been like 2 trailers.
Yeah. So, but should you upcharge? Absolutely. I would go with a flat rate or a flat percentage on that,
No.
like a 10 or 15% upcharge. That's my opinion. Zachary Moore says, "What's up, guys?" Question mark, question mark, question mark. What's up, Zachary?
No.
Luna.
Why are you doing that? No.
Alrighty. Good questions, guys. Great questions.
Are you hungry?
Stop. 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 All right. All right. Now we're just staring at each other. You guys are watching us play with their dog. Stop. Go get in your bed. In your bed. And punish our dog because she's biting the pillows. In your bed. Ugh. Guys, hit us with more questions. Otherwise, we're going to be getting off. Spoiled dog.
I got this one. Do you charge an hourly rate on top of trailer yardage for certain jobs? I've seen other people charging $60 per hour for whole house clean out / fencing removal, etc. We don't. We have for specific jobs like our demo. You guys have probably seen.
Yeah.
If we know that it's going to take our team like 8 hours, we might, depending on the situation. But yeah, we don't. We try to include an hour or two of
Labor.
Yeah.
Yeah. The reality is, guys, is that the more line items that you have to add to your invoices or to your quotes, the more resistance you're going to have with your customer. It's best to just price jobs for the volume of the junk that's being removed. And we could be a little bit off by saying that. Again, all of this advice is nuanced, grain of salt from our perspective and our experience. But it's like if you're adding hourly plus the volume plus this upcharge and that upcharge, you have to explain that to the customer. So if you find it to be difficult to explain that to your customers, then you shouldn't be charging it. I'm not saying that you can't add what that cost would be in your estimate, but it needs to just fall under your rate. So what I mean by that, we charge $55 per cubic yard. Let's say we wanted to add some labor hours to cover the extra time we think it would take. Well, then instead of $55, maybe I charge $75. And now that's $75 for 15 cubic yards. It ups the price quite a bit. So hopefully that makes sense. Jeremy, thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. Man, I was trying to get through that. That hurt my chest. Neil asked thoughts on foreclosure cleanups and how to get to price them. It's really dependent on the job, guys. Sometimes we gotta put the horse before the carriage, right? Or we put the carriage before the horse. you're most likely not going to get a foreclosure or house clean out opportunity until you've had some skin in the game. So probably not something that you have to worry about right this second. Zachary said that he had done the things that we had recommended to him on Facebook the other day. Appreciate the feedback and the great ideas for growing. Anytime, man. We appreciate you supporting us and glad we could support you. Joseph says, hello from New York. Your YouTube channel is amazing. Keep making amazing videos. You're the greatest junk removal company in the state of Texas. We're going for the greatest junk removal company in the world. So we appreciate that. Much love to you. And here comes the whining because we won't let her out. All right. I didn't hear if you touched on this yet. Any good contacts for workers' comp insurance? Tactical 760. I don't. So we get workers' comp through. We get workers' comp through a company that's Texas exclusive. So you might just have to look around through insurance brokers, to be completely honest with you. So. All right. The captain asked, do you see yourself doing junk hauling 5 years from now? Or maybe other business opportunities like pressure washing or car wash? I just want you to answer. Do you have?
Yeah, I don't see us not doing junk removal. Not us, but I don't see us not owning a junk removal company. I want to have multiple locations, and we've talked about it, but we've also talked about other business ideas that we have or that we want to do.
Yeah. We're definitely going to have other services or other businesses, but we will always have a junk removal company, I believe. So.
Can I show
them? No. Would you be mad if I started a junk removal business in your area? Yes, Neil, I would be so mad if you started a junk removal company. Don't do it. I'm kidding. You can start a junk removal company. Start it. Absolutely. We have an abundance mindset, right? So if you're local to us, there's 2 million plus people that you could service all the way from Kyle up to Austin. So chances are that there are customers that you will see that we will never ever see, and there's customers that we will see that you'll never ever see. And that's just business. And I encourage you to take the leap of faith to get into the business if that's what you want to do. I'm going to put her out while we're finishing because we only have 7 minutes. Any other good ones? Questions?
Yeah, this one says
comments or concerns?
This one says if I start this job, I have to work in my area, or we can work anywhere in Texas. How? That's something else.
Nasir, I don't. It's not a job. If you start the business, yeah, you can run the business anywhere, but if you start in one area and then move to another one, then you're kind of like setting yourself up for failure. So,
Mohammed says, how about insurance? How much does it normally cost to get insurance?
For general liability, it should be between $100 to $200. Commercial auto can be different, and the workers' comp is also different as well. So, yeah, there's that as well.
Neil's asking us if we would send him extra jobs for a rebate.
Yeah, it just kind of depends. I mean, we do sub out work from time to time, but now with an employee, we're doing as much as we can to keep the work in-house. So, but I will never say never because we sub out work all the time. So, yeah, absolutely. All right. Zay said Dallas metro area is 8.5 million. Houston metro is 8 million. Would you say that offers greater opportunity than, say, Austin, San Antonio? Yeah, absolutely. I think that their markets are flooded with way more junk removal companies. But, yeah, they have a lot more opportunity. 8 million people. I mean, guys, even at 100 companies, that's still 800,000 potential clients. At 1,000 companies, that's still 80 potential clients. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there. Definitely more than Austin, but I wouldn't use that as like an excuse for us to not be able to build or expand. You know. So, all right, guys, we got 2 minutes left. Let's get these last couple questions in, and we will. Oh, are you booking a job right now?
I booked it earlier. I just don't want to forget to put it in.
Look at this lady booking jobs while doing the live call. All right, last couple questions, and then we're gonna hop off, guys. Yeah, phenomenal. All right, how much should you charge in the beginning, and what should be the easiest to self-advertise and able start getting jobs? By the way, you guys are amazing. God bless everything you guys do. So that's a great question. Um, how to price, guys? We have a full video on our YouTube page on how to price. Basically, you need to figure out how many cubic yards is in your setup and then choose a rate per cubic yard. That's the easiest way to get that started. Last question. In the population of 104,000, second to last question, is a population of 104,000 enough to be successful? Absolutely. I think as long as you have more than like 10,000 people in your local area, I think you'll be okay. Anything less than 10,000, I'm hard pressed to say yes or no. And then last question, Joseph said, do you think a van is good for junk removal? I think whatever vehicle you can use in order to remove junk is the vehicle for you. All right. Tactical 760. I see your statement, but it's more of a statement than a question, so I appreciate the input. Okay. Last question, guys. Last question. Neil stuck one in on there for us. I think it's a good one to ask. Would you rather start in a city with a population of 6 million and median income of 250,000, or a population of 10 million, the median income of 75,000? I know what I would
I
pick.
think the median income of 75,000 with a population of 10 million.
Yeah. So I'm going to explain this to you guys. This is the last piece of information I'm going to leave you with, okay? The average customer that you're going to deal with probably only makes $50,000 to $100,000 a year. Most people that make in excess of six figures, like multiple six figures, do not handle their money well, and they actually have less cash on hand than the average American does. So don't be fooled by like high income areas, because one, most high income areas and individuals don't have a lot of junk. That is just general, like that's just generally how it goes. But two, they also don't have a lot of money or want, and they are going to be the customers that haggle you the most. So with that being said, shout out to UMB MMA. He stayed here for the whole stream. If you guys were on for the whole stream, we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody's love and support. Make sure you guys hit the links in all of our different bios. Get yourself CRM set up on Jobber, and get into our free Discord community. And you guys have a great rest of your evenings. Much love to everybody, and we'll talk to you next Sunday.